Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening for another very special edition of Diary of a Double, the year-long journey of Antonio Argüelles to complete the two-way crossing of the English Channel. That's 67 kilometers at the age of 62. Welcome, Antonio.
Great seeing you, Steven. Buenos días, buenas noches, buenas tardes, wherever you're seeing or watching, hearing this segment.
Yeah, well, we're here on week 6, and I could tell that you've really picked up the pace. You've really gotten stronger. But today you had a different kind of week because you were going to be a grandfather, but the baby still hasn't come out yet, right?
Exactly. So our calculations was that this weekend Aurelia would arrive, and so I talked to Rafa and I said, as much as I don't want to miss a workout, I think it'll be a very hard sell with my with the family to tell them that I have to go and do my long distance swim and not be ready for any contingency. So I decided to do my long workout on Thursday, and this is something that sometimes happens, Steven. I mean, you usually want to have your set days for things, but life is not a single line, so you have to adapt.
Yeah.
And, yes, this week I did my long swim on Thursday.
Okay. And can you explain your long swim, like from your warm up to your sets and how you divided up your sets?
Yes. As I've told you, the main focus on our workouts right now is to get myself in pace and to find the different segments of my pace in 5 different time zones. And so we started this workout with 5 200s, where it was with a 15 seconds rest, and the idea was to at the end of the 5 200s to be in my pace of R3, which is, let's say, it's as my cruising space if I were in a channel swim. Obviously, it's totally different what you do in the pool than what you do in the ocean. So right now, my level 3 is my cruising time is between 143 and 145. This is what we want to achieve in a long course pool in Mexico City.
I have a few questions for people who aren't familiar with this. Can you explain how many zones there are and how you divide them up?
Yes, there's five zones. Zone number 1 is like when you're warming up or you're cooling down. I mean, it's just, you forget about the time. It's usually, for me, it's around 2 minutes. Zone number 2 is a recovery zone. And it's usually set, we try to be 7 seconds above zone R3. So it's usually between 149 and 152 per 100. Then zone 3 is, as I said, between 143 and 145. And an important thing here, Stephen, is how your heart rate.
Yeah.
Some people, when they get into the ocean, they're very excited at the beginning, so their heart rate just goes up tremendously, and you're gonna pay it somewhere. So for me to be in zone 3, my heart rate should be around 120, 125. Then R4 starts getting complicated because you're approaching your aerobic threshold. So that should be between 136 and 138. And then my R5 is around 130. But that Rafa gets me some days in that zone, but it's not something that I can hold for too long of a period of time.
Yeah. And so when your coach Rafa tells you about your workout, he's specifically asking you to go to train at these very specific zones for a certain amount of distance, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
And one of the things that it's difficult is that he mixes all during the workout.
Yeah.
It's when I started doing these workouts with Rafa, it totally took me away from what I did previously. Um, Sometimes when you are doing long distance swimming, or when you're trying to train for an ocean swim, many times you think that the important thing is just to go the meters or the time. And when you were faced with very long swims like Catalina, that was 24 hours, like Molokai, obviously the double English is going to be more than 24 hours. You need to have different time zones in your body, because your muscles are going to need it, and not only your muscles, your mind as well. I mean, it's very important that you get your mind moving in different directions in terms of the perception of what you're doing with your stroke and your the effort that you're pulling. So on Tuesday we started with the 5 100, 5 200s. Then we did 1,000 in R3, and it was really interesting, Steven, because I don't know if it happened to you, but I take a long time to warm up. In the pool, it takes me, a while to feel comfortable. And it was really interesting on Thursday because, when I got to the sixth thousand, I felt much better than the second. And you would think that you would feel better in the second. That we did in R3, and then we did 10 100s, and going out every 2 minutes. And as I've mentioned before, the the I cannot watch the clocks, and I have to hit the same time every single 100. If I miss that, if I miss that, it's a no-no. I don't. Fortunately, Rafa is not in Schubert's mood that you have to repeat it. but I get a no-no. So the idea for those 100s is that it had to be between 143 and 145, and this is something that you need to get in your mind. I mean, it's just how you feel, and sometimes you start feeling much better and you want to go faster. But the idea is you have to stay there in that zone.
Yeah. Do you find that difficult? Is that difficult, or you get used to it?
No, you get used to it. Every season, you have to start and get it back. I mean, it's something that it's like your body muscles. You remember after a while. But I'm a very good pacer. That's something that I learned from the old days, and I always go back to what happened in Catalina. Just being able to swim for 24 hours at the same pace. So once I get into the pace and I feel comfortable, I can do that.
Yeah.
You know what? It's a feeling on your heart. Your heart rate.
Uh-huh.
You have to you learn to it's the amount of exertion you're putting. I mean, it's just how you're feeling in your heart.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, I know when you're dry, your mind is always thinking about many things. You never slow down. You're thinking about family, you're thinking about work, you're thinking about your next speech. I mean, I know you're constantly thinking. So because your brain is so active, how do you shift to R3, pace, hour after hour after hour? Are you literally training yourself, your
Yeah,
mind, as your...
yeah. An important part is that once I get into a workout or in the ocean, I forget about everything else. It is just
Okay.
it's that, you know uh, I don't know if I ever told you this story, but I hate for people to approach me in the pool
Okay.
and to want to ask questions or to train and because I'm I don't know if it happens for you, but you finish one set and people want to talk for about 10 minutes. I mean, that's a no. I mean, you just have to rest for a certain period of time. So I treasure a lot my time in the pool, or when I'm working out. And a couple of years ago, I was in Jordan, And I arrived in Amman at the hotel, and I didn't know that Barack Obama was going to be in the hotel. And Lucia wanted to meet Barack Obama, so we're doing guarding the bar and seeing when he was coming in, and so I went to bed, and Lucia kept stay there to try to see if he would see Barack Obama. And the next morning, I'm in the pool and I'm swimming, and later I realized that the Secret Service was, supervising everything, and I didn't notice. I mean, I just saw some people, but I was swimming, so I get out and I go into the gym. And there's this guy, everything black, in black tights and black shirt. Nobody's there. And I didn't know who he was. I started, I was doing some weights, and he was pulling, rowing, and then he was biking. And suddenly I was in the mirror and he was in my back in the bicycle. And I look at the ears. The way they recognize him was the ears. And I was doing weights, and he was in my back. And I realized I was training with Barack Obama. And the first thing everybody asked me is, did you shake his hand? Did you get a selfie? He said, no way. I mean, the guy is the leader of the free world. And I'm sure that's the time he doesn't want anybody to bother him.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he was just shifting and enjoying his workout. So that's what I do. I just close my mind and said, and when it gets very complicated, I'm sure, a lot of our friends who are watching us, I try to imagine where I will be in my next swim. When I really get tired, my question is, will I be able to break the current, where I'm coming back from France? And it has to hurt, it sometimes hurts. We have to be very focused on what you're doing. And yes, I only focus on the different hours.
Yeah. Oh, excellent. Excellent. And did you do any kicking or pulling on this Thursday long workout?
No, I did some pulling. We had a set of 10 100s, and the idea was just to arrive. It was one of the 150. So I was arriving at about 145, 144, and was just trying to do some recovery. But I've been doing a lot of kicking, Stephen. I today, I did 40 minutes kicking. I'm not in the 16 hours of Greta, but I did 40 minutes today.
Wow. And where was today's workout?
Today was at the German Club, which is this 50-meter pool in Mexico City, and we did that. And then Rafa surprised me. Since we changed our schedule, today I was supposed to do weights. Well, we did weights, and in our workout I was going to do rollers, because I thought it was going to be, I might have to go to the hospital or something like that. But since we didn't do, I had time to go to the pool today, and he surprised me. He sent me a message last night saying, I have a surprise for you tomorrow. And I had to do 20 50s, all blast.
Oh,
Those are awful, because in the first one you feel really good, but about 15 you have no arms anymore, and it's just, you just used all your glycogen. And but I'm very happy because I finished under 40 seconds the last one.
okay. All right. So these were all at R5.
Yes, all are R5.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, that's the last little sprint before you touch Shakespeare's Beach or someplace.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly, where you have to put, all you have left, you have to get it there. You know what? Sometimes that is not usually at the end. You know what? It's usually is when you have to break the current.
Yeah.
And when you really have to put everything to be able to overcome that, because otherwise are you going to be pushed away, or you're going to push to the sides.
Yeah. Yeah. So overall this week 6, were you satisfied with your progress and where you are?
Yes. Well, I had a little bit of a setback during the week. My lower back hurt a lot. Something happened. I don't know what it was. Maybe I've been sitting too much. So I decided, if I'm gonna be sitting down, I'm gonna be sitting down, trying to be straight, and not slushing. And but swimming wise, I was surprised how soon I'm getting back in my rhythms, and I'm enjoying it a lot. You know, I don't know if it happens to other people, but being in, even when I was swimming during confinement, because I was able to swim at some point, it felt really bad. It
Oh,
felt that things were moving, and I was very sad that I was going to be able to try to do my double during the summer. But now that I have a goal again, and especially now that we have this project, it feels much better. It feels that I have a goal, and the idea that I can share it with other swimmers and tell a story, and hopefully I can learn from them if they write me, or if they write us, or they can learn from us if they write us. That makes me happy. I'm happy.
yeah. Oh, excellent, excellent. And now? Your granddaughter still is not born, so it's still unknown what your next week's schedule is,
Uh,
correct?
Yep, exactly. Yesterday they went to see the doctor,
Uh-huh.
and the doctor said that doesn't look like it's going to be either the weekend, Monday or Tuesday. But if she doesn't arrive by Thursday, sorry, they will have to induce her birth. So to be on the safe side, I talked to Rafa this morning, and I'm going to go and do my long swim on Tuesday. Uh,
Okay. Okay.
and to be on the safe side, um, if he if she's not here on Thursday, on Tuesday, I have to make a trip on Wednesday, but I'll be back for sure to be here on Thursday and to be ready to be a grandfather. So for sure, next week I'll be a grandfather, Steven. I
Okay.
can, we can. That's something that we cannot say about crossing a channel. That we cannot be able to be on the other side. But now I can say that next week I'll be a grandfather.
Got it. Oh man, that's going to be so great. That's so,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for another update. We look forward to the grandfather joining us next week. And good
Great.
luck on your Tuesday long workout.
Yes, I will make a video and we'll share with our audience.
Great. Thank you.